What's going on, Colts Nation? Welcome back to another episode of the Bring the Juice podcast. We're going to bring you guys a couple of different updates today. A lot of NFL news, especially the Colts today. So make sure you all stay to the end of this video, okay? You're not going to want to miss a couple of the conversations that we're going to have here today on this video. All right, guys. So a lot of news today for the Indianapolis Colts, okay? It was the first practice in which we saw kind of like some action in which it feels like a weekday, okay? And what I mean by that is mainly because there was an injury report that came out today. There's some news about guys' injuries, and I hope that my talking here helps to give some clarity to all of you as to what is going on with some of the Colts and their injuries. Also on top of it, we're going to talk about the captains, going to talk about some other stories. So make sure you all stay to the end of this video. You're going to want to hear all of it, okay? So QB Carson Wentz was a full participant at practice today. So he is 100% going to play week one, barring anything super bad happens at this point, which we don't anticipate it happening. He is going to be the starter week one. And see, I told all of you that this guy could still play week one. A lot of you wanted to go the very not so optimistic route and say, oh, well, he's going to be out for 12 weeks. Again, I told y'all, as soon as he stepped foot on the football field, even when he wasn't practicing and was just standing out there with no boot, I told you it was very, very probable that this guy comes back on time, ready to go. There we go. That's it. That's it. That's all you needed right there. Perfect. Carson Wentz, we have our number one guy. So awesome. Everybody can just relax about that now. Carson Wentz is going to be the starter week one, barring any other major setbacks. So other news in regards to a couple other players. So let's talk about Eric Fisher real quick. So Eric Fisher was a limited participant in practices today, okay? And when they were talking about Fisher, it's very interesting because Reich stated that they are going to ramp up his practice workouts every day this week. Because the only other issue that we have at this point, guys, is the fact that, you know, when you have an Achilles injury, it's very hard to get any kind of conditioning done when you're doing that, right? Because you can't use your leg the same way that you normally would. So your conditioning is at a low level, which is what Eric Fisher probably is dealing with a little bit of right now. They said they're ramping up his stuff a little bit. So they want to test basically this week. They want to test him, see how he responds. Now, they said if he responds the way they wanted to, and he responds well, there is a good chance he could be ready week one. Now, before I even get any further into this topic here, I just want to remind y'all, there were people stating this guy may not be back until October. I mean, the Colts kind of anticipated him being ready towards the end of September, but it's almost the beginning of September, nearing the middle of September, and this guy might be ready to go. I mean, they said his rehab has gone phenomenally. His rehab's gone phenomenally. His ability to recover from this injury has been phenomenal. The surgery that was done on it has been phenomenal so far. And it doesn't seem that COVID situation set him back that much. There's still a chance he could go week one. Do I still believe he's going to? No, I don't believe so. But then again, it could. It could. We're not going to find out until the weekend. We'll just give it that one. We're not going to find out until the weekend. And so take it with a grain of salt. Take it the way you want to. Just know that Fisher's in a good spot right now, and within the next 3 weeks, he will be back. So that's great, great news when we're talking about Eric Fisher. Another thing here about Quentin Nelson. I'll bring this up because it's been the big news today, so I want to make sure that I bring it up for you guys. I don't think you guys should be too over worried about this. Okay. So when asked, Quentin Nelson didn't practice today as team manages a flare up in his back. Coach Reich said he's hopeful Nelson can still play Sunday. Now, I'm going to clarify this for you guys, okay? Because I don't think a couple of these people worded this very well. I know that's maybe what Reich said, but I think this is worded wrongly. He's dealt with this before, okay? Nelson has dealt with this before. So, and Reich stated it's something in his back. He has the occasional back flare-up. Says he's having a little back issue, so we just wanted to try and get ahead of it and get back on track. Again, this is something that Nelson has dealt with before, mainly last season. Okay, he dealt with a back flare-up before the Week 1 game last season and still played all 74 offensive snaps. Okay, as long as it doesn't get like to the point where it's excruciatingly painful, fully expect Quentin Nelson to be out there Sunday. Okay, so maybe that gives you a little bit more clarity as to what's going on. It shouldn't be something this severe. So again, don't worry about it too much. Okay, I think it's going to be okay. I think it's a little bit more dramatic than what it actually is. Okay, he still has 4 days until the actual game, and normally back flare-ups do pretty well if you know how to handle them. So I think he's fine. Okay, in the other news, Xavier Rhodes as a calf injury listed as day-to-day. Still have no clue like when he did that, how he did that, or how long this is actually going to keep him out. They were stating it's day-to-day. So still not much news on that right now. I mean, everybody kind of said Rhodes isn't here, but nobody's really given a great update as to what's going on. So it's up in the air on Rhodes right now. Certainly hope he can play Sunday. A couple other guys that were limited participants today, Kamoko Toure and Danny Pinter. Toure with a groin and Pinter with a foot. Again, probably just precautionary stuff. Pinter obviously coming back from that foot injury he sustained a couple weeks ago. And Paris Campbell. Now, here's the big one, okay? And listen, I know everybody's freaking out. They saw the injury report. Let me just, and Stephen Holden mentioned this, and this is something I figured would happen too, is that it's a little soreness in his Achilles, okay? There are some people that were saying, oh, it's been a lingering thing. Oh, it's been something that's been happening like over the last few days, and they're just trying to be careful. They don't want to overwork him, which is the right thing to do here. You want to limit his ability there so that way he doesn't hurt it and make it any more sore than what it already is, okay? So they're taking precaution. That's fine. I don't think there's any issues there, long-term issues that we need to worry about right now. So everybody just kind of chill out a little bit. You know, I think it's okay. All right. So other news that was injury news as of last year. Okay. So DeForest Buckner was asked, or what they were, he was asked about his injury, and apparently he broke it down, and it says that Buckner broke the 4th MCP joint in his right hand. I'm not sure whether that's down here or it's up here, but either way, broke a joint in his hand last year and still played through it the whole season and earned first team All-Pro. Okay, so he said he wasn't able to really grab anything with that hand all year. Didn't have full strength. And, I mean, think about that for a second, guys. Buckner did that last year, and he wasn't able to do much with this right hand. He wasn't able to use it 100%. He only was able to use it maybe 70%. I mean, think about that for a second. Like, that, these are your hands, man. These are what you use. And this man had this thing hurting the whole season and still play with it. I mean, that's incredible to hear that story of what Buckner was able to do. Maybe explains a lot of the reason why he's captain, because, you know, he leads by example. So that's really cool. Really, really cool to see, you know, those guys talking about that. And so we kind of, I've gone over the injury reports. I've gone over all the injury updates for you guys. couple other small things about the Colts captains. The Colts captains were voted and released today. Remember, these votes were by the players, not by the coaches, not by the execs, not by fans. This was all voted by the players in that locker room, okay? So, big one, Carson Wentz, okay? So, I mean, guess their team doesn't hate Carson Wentz after all, do they? I mean, y'all can keep bringing up excuses for why Carson Wentz isn't a captain or why his team secretly hates him, but yet somehow voted him captain. Yeah, sure. We'll go whatever fancy theory you got there, but overall, there's a reason Carson Wentz is a captain, okay? So, Quentin Nelson also is a captain. Proper choice there. T.Y. Hilton is also in there. Lead by example guy. Darius Leonard, DeForest Buckner, two defensive studs. Total reason why they wouldn't get Colts captain. I mean, it makes total sense there. And then the last one, and the sixth one, that's Zaire Franklin, who is the special teams captain. So, I mean, Zaire Franklin's been a great name, especially in the special teams groups for a long time. And the players love him on the special teams. He does all that, so makes total sense. So that is most of the updates for you guys today in regards to all the injuries and everything else that is going on. Hopefully that kind of clears up a few things for you guys. Maybe it kind of makes you say, oh, okay, well, maybe now I understand now because maybe he didn't have all the details before, but that's what we've been able to gather. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. How worried are you with some of these injuries? Did this kind of talk with me kind of help clear some things up? Let me know what you think. Overall, I'm happy with how things are going right now. Happy to see some guys coming back and getting work done. Very good. So let me know what you guys think. Thank you so much for tuning in. And as always, go Colts.